So recently I watched the new Korean Netflix show called Better Late Than Single, which is a reality dating program kind of like Singles Inferno, except they brought in people that have zero experience in dating. Now me personally, I'm not the type to watch shit like this, like Singles Inferno and Love Island type shit. I think watching those are stupid as fuck. Like I'm not trying to watch a bunch of influencers mog me and do unrealistic shit and call it dating. However, Better Late Than Single grabbed my attention because the twist is that everyone in the show is eternally bitchless and have absolutely no idea what the fuck they're even doing. So I checked it out because conceptually it sounded pretty funny to me. Now, I'll save my overall thoughts of the show at the end of the video, but it's time I talk about the participants that were featured in the show. There were 12 unique individuals divided into 6 guys and 6 girls, and they basically take turns fucking each other. No, I'm just playing, but yeah, they're all interesting individuals to say the least, so I'm gonna talk about them via this tier list. Now, judging these people might be a little different compared to the usual character tier lists I do, because they're actual real people and not fictional characters. But they agreed to be televised to the world. They won't see this video. I won't see them. None of this shit affects anyone's lives, so fuck it, let's have some fun with this video. Now, before I get into this tier list, I need to explain to y'all how I'm gonna be ranking these individuals. There's a lot of things to consider, but I'll be mainly judging based on their personality and actions on screen, since I think that's the most important aspect. Yeah, their ability to pull might be important because it's a dating show, but let's be real, everyone besides Jung Mok has zero bag, so I don't really care about that shit. Still, I will consider their ability to riz just a little bit for this tier list. I won't be ranking based on looks because in my opinion, that doesn't matter that much either. Like as long as you're not completely chopped, then personality matters much more. And everyone in the show is at the very least decent looking in my opinion. This doesn't mean I won't make comments about their looks, it just means I won't take their looks into account when it comes to ranking. I won't be taking their jobs into consideration as well, because that has nothing to do with who they are as a person. Although I will say for dudes, that shit kinda matters a lot in the real world when it comes to dating. As for the actual tier ranking, I don't want to do the classic D tier to S tier because number one, it feels kind of fucked up just straight up ranking them like that. And number two, I don't even think anyone is really S or D tier. So instead, I'm gonna put them into these tiers. The names of the tiers pretty much explain what they mean. We have pretty chill tier here, which means overall I think they got a pretty chill personality. I'd personally be friends with them or even pursue them romantically myself. Next tier we have cool but some about them. I would treat this the same as the chill tier, but just something about them makes me not want to put them in the same tier as the ones above, which I will explain later in the video. Next we got the alright tier. This tier is for people who are just whatever, like they got some aspects that are likable, aspects that are kind of weird, but either way I just didn't really care for them, that's about it. We got the I don't know about all that tier, which is saved for people that low-key piss me off, I can't even lie. Like they're all good people, don't get me wrong, but some of what they said or did, I can't let it slide bro, I gotta go off. And then we got the last tier here, which is saved for 2 individuals that kinda got fucked over by the production of the show. Y'all probably know which 2 I'm talking about. But anyways, with that being said, let's get into the tier list. So first off we have Kang Ji Su, who is a 26-year-old ballet instructor. She says she went to an all-female high school, which is not uncommon in Korea, and she's a certified homebody bedrot doom scroll maxer or some shit, I don't know. But it turns out she also has anxiety and trauma rooting from some dude trying to stalk her. She says she prefers guys who seem like she could depend on, someone who could be a rock when her mood swings are fucking going up and down like a roller coaster. She is pretty, but personally she is not my type. But anyway, in terms of her personality, I would say she is mostly cool, but there are a couple of things about her that I want to say. So first of all, I'm not sure it's because of her anxiety, but she speaks way too fucking fast, like calm down Eminem. Also, there are some times where she is extremely blunt, like she ain't sugarcoating shit, she just says it the way it is, which I kind of respect because she's standing on business, but at the same time, I feel like you should definitely know how to soften your words at times. But also, she is pretty chill with most people, like especially with Jae Yun, when he says some dumbass shit to Yeo Myung talking about, oh, I actually don't like you, so go ahead and link with the guy you like, don't worry about me, I'm a nobody. And Jae Yun goes to Ji Su for help, and she's like, alright, stop fucking tripping and lock the fuck in. She's very attentive as well, like she notices that Sang-ho likes fruit drinks and tries to match with him, and she knows that Sang-ho likes blue, so she wore blue, but too bad because this motherfucker Sang-ho's brain is absolutely empty. And then in the middle of the show, she's just kind of juggling like 3 dudes at once, and I'm like, bruh, can you just fucking pick? You're edging all these motherfuckers. And at the end, I totally expected her to just go solo since Seung Li fucked up big time, but the fact that she gave him another chance is cool, I guess. I'm gonna be real though, her type of personality is very hard to actually keep a consistent relationship with, cause most guys don't want to deal with this bullshit. Like most guys would want peace, and having to deal with her going up and down would be pretty stressful. I feel like you would only put up with it if she was your high school slash college sweetheart, but at this stage of life, building a relationship is so much harder. Not saying it's her fault because she obviously has a reason why she is that way, but I'm just saying shit gonna be kinda tough for both her and her mans. Anyways, yeah, for those reasons, I'd say she's cool, but yeah, there's just something about her. Alright, next up is this motherfucker Jung Mok, and I'm not gonna lie, this dude kinda pissed me off. So he's a 26-year-old biochemical engineering student, which is pretty sick, but apparently he was just his twin brother's sidekick until his brother got cuffed and left him in the dust, and at that point he's like, welp, time to find me a girl now. And I would say overall he was the most normal dude out of the cast in terms of his behavior. Like he's not completely socially inept or anything. And his looks are decent too. But me personally, he looks way better with glasses than without. But man, as the show went on, he just kept doing some shit that irritated me. First of all, this guy fucking invested his entire egg basket into Ido, thinking she's the one to accompany him till his deathbed. And he's basically love bombing her, but like the introvert version, saying how she's the only one that's in his mind. But once he got to know her, he's actually like, fuck this, I was thinking with the wrong head. So yeah, this is the classic case of when you chase the baddie but then realize why she's single once you get with her type shit. But instead of rejecting her, he edges her on for like the next 4 episodes, along with the other girls that were into him too, like planting a glimmer of hope into Yeo Myung and Minung as well. And then he ends up going for Ji Yeon, who he was just saying that she's just his friend. Bullshit. There is no such thing as he or she's just a friend. Fuck that. Especially not in Korea. But anyway, I wasn't sure if he just didn't have the balls to say it straight up to the girls like, hey, get the fuck off me, Ji Yeon's the one for me. Or if he actually knows the game. And by game, I mean a guy being manipulative like that, leading girls on. I'm not saying that's what you should do because it is definitely wrong, but I'm just saying that shit works. Like you give a girl all the attention and love and one day just fucking disappear. That'll make a girl go crazy and want you even more type shit. Anyways, because he was the most normal out of the bunch, a lot of girls wanted him and him only, and that made him think he was some hot shit, which pissed me the fuck off. Like he was on some, yeah, I guess I'm kind of popular, haha. Like shut your ass up, you would get mogged instantly once you step back out to society. Who do you think you are? And then when he finally gets with Ji Yeon, that was some of the most cringe I've witnessed on television. Felt like my organs were getting twisted into a balloon animal watching them stare at each other and talking about, oh, I think I want to marry you. I love you. Like, how the fuck are these the words that are coming out of someone's mouth after 5 days of getting to know each other? Like, I get Jung Mok's mentality, because why would you get into a long-term relationship with someone who you're not planning to marry, right? But at the same time, bro, you gotta meet more people before deciding that you want to marry someone. And even if it's just one person, you gotta spend more time with them before knowing that. As soon as I saw them walk out a couple, I'm like, yeah, this shit's gonna end. And I was right, they actually broke up. Good for him for finding a relationship through this show, but fuck that, Jung Mok's going into I don't know about all that tier. Alright, next up is Hyun Kyu, who's a 26-year-old med school student who also does bartending or some shit. Honestly, just those specs alone, he could already be pulling hella bitches. But then he says his brain stops working once a girl is in front of him, which is some real shit, I can't even lie. Anyways, he seems pretty chill and nice. He's also a pretty good looking dude until he opens his mouth and shows his beaver tooth, but that's fine. Anyways, he starts off really well. He's risen up Ji Su, and Ji Su's like, oh yeah, I think talking to him is definitely more fun than Sang-woo, cause talking to Sang-woo is like talking to a brick fucking wall. But as the show went on, he starts to reveal his true self, cause his brain actually stops functioning, and he doesn't know what the fuck to do once buff-ass Seung Li enters the picture. Now all he's thinking is, shit, how do I win her over? Like, relax my guy, just keep being yourself, and if it doesn't work out, then it's cool. But maybe him being himself isn't the move, cause he was moving kinda weird in some of the scenes, especially that scene where he was basically holding Ji Su hostage for like 3 hours, and others called him out saying how he shouldn't have done that so others can have the chance to talk to her, and he's basically like, I don't give a fuck, I'm not the bad guy, I'm right, you're wrong. At that point, it's actually confirmed that all this guy probably did was study, and that's why he has 0 social skills, which, I mean, good job for making it to med school and all that, but don't think you're better than everybody else just cause of it, you feel me? Also, his mom probably took care of everything he did cause he has hella mama boy tendencies, like they're taking a walk on the beach, and he's like, mommy, hold my hands please. Honestly, nothing wrong with wanting a dommy mommy, but Ji Su is definitely not looking for a beta sub, so you gotta watch yourself. Also, dude is planning out his entire life stage with Ji Su before even confirming a relationship with her, which is absolutely crazy. I'm gonna be real, most guys do map this kind of shit out in their head, so I don't blame him. Like, I'm definitely guilty of talking to a girl I like and then creating a fantasy in my head where we're already dating. But damn, I've actually never written it out and expressed that feeling to a girl. Anyways, at the end of the show, he probably has one of the most cringe soliloquies I've ever seen in my life, saying how he might have been destined to meet her at the show. Maybe in another life they would have been school friends, how he's definitely learned more about himself and it's unfortunate that he couldn't win her over. And mind you, he's taking a look at his cheat sheet while he's saying all this shit, and then he exits the stage by saying some shit like, "Damn, I liked you a lot, Kang Ji Su." And then the panelists start fucking going crazy, cringing their ass off. That shit was funny as fuck, I can't even lie. In his head, he probably seemed like a main character, but I'm sure when he looks back once he becomes a doctor, he's gonna have sleepless nights where he's just kicking his blankets thinking about this shit. Anyways, yeah, he's going into the I don't know about all that tier. Alright, so next up we have Seung Chan, who is one of the two people that got dropped off on the second day of the show, and one of the two that I said got fucked over by the production of the show. So they placed him in the show thinking he's gonna change the flow of the game, but they might as well have not put him in the show, cause what the hell was the point? They say he had a 3-month relationship before, which is basically a fuckboy compared to all these dry ass motherfuckers they gathered here. And he's a surgeon too, so all the guys started quaking and getting threatened by his aura. Like, imagine Hyun Kyu thinking he's the shit cause he's a med school student, and then they end up bringing a whole ass surgeon. Like, I would definitely give up. Anyways, yeah, he got the special privilege to bring anyone he liked into the suite room, and then we never see him ever again. Well, we do, but those scenes were kind of useless. So yeah, he's going into this tier. Okay, so next is Yeo Myung, who is a 26-year-old student studying biz ad, and her single story can be basically summarized as, I was chilling with the girls, but they all left me for their man, so I guess it's my turn to get one as well. And I'll be honest, if I was in the show, I would have tried to rizz her up because she is cute and is my style. But enough about me, let's talk about her. So, I think she's pretty chill. Honestly, out of all the girls, I think she's the most normal one. She seems like she has a pretty fun personality too, and low-key has some rizz. Like when they're roller skating, she's like, okay, who wants to go with me? Trying to target Jung Mok, but instead got the weeb nerd Jae-yoon. She's pretty straightforward with her intentions, which is cool, but not gonna lie, she was slightly on some pick-me shit when she was trying to get with Jung Mok, talking about, oh, I'm gonna go up by 0.5 every day. Not gonna lie, that shit was kind of attractive, but also you gotta give up on Jung Mok because he's just not that into you, girl. And then her dates with Jae-yoon. If I was her, I'm not picking him either. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to date someone that I can't even have a full-length conversation with? But anyways, overall, she was chill. Didn't have much problem with her, so she's going into chill tier. Alright, next up is Ido. She's a 27-year-old student at Seoul National University studying and teaching geography. I think she is pretty, but also she kinda don't got any chin, like she's on some Leafy is here type shit. Alright, my bad, that's kinda fucked up. But anyways, yeah, apparently she knows every single molecular detail about the Korean peninsula, which is pretty sick, I guess. I think she has a sweet and kind personality as well, but I wasn't really understanding some of her motives throughout the show. So she starts off liking Seung Li because he's swole as fuck, but it turns out Seung Li is not into pink-haired geology nerds, so she's already bummed out. And then we have fucking Jung Mok here confessing his love for her. And then the slight little rizz that he showed somehow got her to fall for him, which is crazy to me because I still can't remember a single thing that he actually did to stand out besides just behave like any other normal adult would. But anyway, she ends up falling for him, but starts talking about partying in New York and studying as a priority or some shit, which is enough for Jung Mok's dick to start retracting. At this point in the show, Jung Mok is edging like 4 different girls, but he's especially fucking over Ido because he's starting to rizz up Ji Yeon right in front of her without really giving Ido a full closure. I'd be mad as fuck if I were Ido, not gonna lie. So I respect how maturely she handled the situation, but also at the same time, she was doing some of the most pick-me shit I've ever seen, asking Jung Mok, oh, I really want to win you over, what do I gotta do? And then the whole pool party scene was just cringe overload. She's out here acting like a fucking dolphin to get his attention back and feeding Jung Mok the meat for everyone to see when Ji Yeon was feeding him first. Like, you can't just be so obviously jealous like that, you feel me? And then after all that, she has the final day with Jung Mok where she's like, I thought this was destiny. I know you hurt me, but I'll still always choose you type shit. And at this point, I kind of stopped feeling bad for her because this is some delusional ass shit where you think it's destiny after knowing someone for like a week. If one of my friends said it's destiny after a week of knowing a girl, I'd clown the fuck out of him. So she getting the same treatment. Also, me personally, let's say a girl was acting like Jung Mok in front of me, switching up on me like that, I'm fucking forgetting about that whole frame one, cause I ain't trying to waste time with this bullshit. But what do I know? Anyways, unfortunate for Ido, but it is what it is. I'm sure she can find someone better out there. I'll put her in the cool but some about them tier. Okay, next up is Ji Yeon, who's a 26-year-old music producer who also went to all-female schools. And the reason why she's single is because of the fact that her dad beat the living fuck out of her and her mother, which is just fucked up. I'm sorry that she had to go through that. Anyway, she seems like a very nice person as well, but I didn't really care for her throughout most of the show in my opinion, because she didn't really do anything. But I will say, she always sounds like she has something in her mouth when she's talking. Some strong-ass lisp there. She first starts off liking Taeyoon because she likes men who can shut the fuck up. I mean, I guess that's respectable. She probably won't like me though, because I be yapping my ass off in these videos. But anyway, she realized that talking to Taeyoon is the equivalent of getting lobotomized, so she just kind of gives up finding a dude. Until Jung Mok comes along and revitalizes her purpose in the show. And not gonna lie, the whole love triangle shit with her, Ido, and Jung Mok was just extreme cringe. Especially when you consider that Ido and Ji Yeon were roommates. Like, y'all know girls' friendship break over shit like this in college. Like, when she got drunk and starts hugging Ido, y'all know Ido was like, fuck, can someone get this bitch off me? The final night too, when they're all in the circle, for some reason, Ji Yeon suddenly turns into a foxy madam. I'm like, when did this girl become so scary? But yeah, that last night too, when they're asking all these truth or dare questions, was so fucking awkward. I was like, thank God this is the last episode. Like, imagine Ido's feelings as Jung Mok and Ji Yeon are holding hands right in front of her. I'd crash the fuck out. Still, I don't really have anything against Ji Yeon, but I don't really like her either, so I'm gonna put her in the alright tier. Alright, next up is Minong, who's a 28-year-old working in fashion marketing or something. So yeah, I would say she is probably one of the more chill person out of the whole group. I was biased against her at first because she low-key seemed like a bitch with the RBF and her whole concept talking about how blunt she is and how she doesn't fuck with people for the slightest of reasons, like holding the chopsticks wrong or some shit. But then it turns out she's actually a very caring, almost like an older sister. She was also one of the girls who was into Jung Mok, but unlike the other girls, she maintained her self-respect that she was like, whatever, fuck that motherfucker. Also, she learned to be flexible as well. Like, she was on some, I never date a dude that's younger than me. And then she realizes that it's more about their character rather than a simple age gap, assuming the age gap is within reasonable bounds. And yeah, she's also giving advice to Taeyoon as well, telling him to stand on business when you tell a joke. I like her overall. I'll put her in the chill tier. Alright, here is the other one of the two that got drop shipped into the show for no apparent reason. So Miji is a 27-year-old Japanese teacher, and she was basically a rebound option for Sangho because nobody likes him, and even that he fumbled, so she basically became useless. I remember she was talking about how she'll try to rizz up guys by naming soccer players or some shit, which is honestly a good strat. If you want to get to know a guy, just start spitting some ball knowledge and some dude will fall for it. Anyways, yeah, she's going into this tier because the producers ended up wasting her time. And next up, we have Taeyoon. He's a 27-year-old 3D computer graphics artist or something. He first pulls up to the show with a helmet-ass haircut, looking like Im Si-won from the drama Miseng. And then he glowed the fuck up with a nice haircut. But this is a case where looks doesn't really matter if you can't say a single fucking sentence coherently. This is one of those cases where he is single not because he can't talk to women, but he just can't talk to anyone in general and just watched anime all his life. Like he's on some ventriloquist type shit where his lips are glued shut, but he's still trying his best to get words out. Anyways, he has a thing for Yeo Myung, which is respectable. And he has moments of courage here and there where he raises his hand like he's in a classroom when Yeo Myung's like, who wants to rollerblade with me? And then he ends up trying his best not to eat shit in front of her, talking about smooth. Like, holy shit, this is funny as fuck. And then he has a moment where he tells Yeo Myung not to worry about him, and she can feel free to bag Jung Mok, the guy she actually likes. And I'm sorry, but this is some of the worst strat that anyone has cooked up in this show. Like, oh, you're better off with him, so don't worry about me, I never liked you anyway. First of all, I see that he was trying to protect himself from a potential heartbreak by coping and telling her that he never liked her, but that's just stupid. And second of all, whether you like her or not doesn't change anything about her feelings towards the other guy, so like what the hell? But I get it. When you like someone, sometimes it just feels like a mental illness where you can't think correctly. And then the scene where he just hops into the grass while Yeo Myung's talking shit, I'm choosing to believe that the producers told him to do that, cause ain't no way. The only time he becomes an actual functioning human is when he gets alcohol into his system, which is just so cooked, but honestly that's the average Korean male experience anyway. I still respect him for trying his best to put himself out there. He still tries to shoot his shot with Yeo Myung, even though he airballed like all of them. For him, he definitely needs some dommy mommy who would lead him and accept him for who he is. And apparently he is currently dating a girl older than him, some Nuna, so good for him, I guess. Anyways, I'm gonna put him in the alright tier. Alright, moving on, we have Seung Li. And unfortunately, you have to share the same name as that Big Bang motherfucker. That Burning Sun motherfucker should still be in prison. But anyway, Seung Li here is a 27-year-old international marketer who grew up and lived in Brazil for like 12 years. He can speak 4 languages, including Korean and Portuguese, which is pretty sick. But apparently he has this introverted personality because he grew up in a foreign land. But let's be real here. You have no reason to still be introverted now. Because look at this motherfucker. He's built like a damn Greek statue. Also, you can speak 4 languages. Like, have some more confidence in yourself, my guy. Also, he says he didn't like Brazilian girls kissing him and shit. Like, oh no, my steak is too juicy and my lobster is too buttery. Oh no. Alright, I'm playing. But anyways, this dude is full sending on Ji Su and no one else, which is kind of respectable, I guess. But also, there were definitely moments where he just started doing some stupid shit. Like, for example, when he was constantly making fun of Sang-woo, saying how he's a shit driver, and saying how he was the strongest puncher. Like, damn, that's low-key some op behavior. I know you're supposed to be competitive and shit, but you gotta mog your competition naturally and in silence, bro. If you just straight up announce your competitive strats and shit on the other dudes so openly, you're gonna just end up looking like an insecure douchebag. But anyway, he doesn't stop here. Now he's trying to see who can drink the most. One of the most toxic traits in Korean culture and drinking culture in general is to see who can speedrun their liver failure the fastest. Like, I drink too, but this is just excessive, you feel me? And again, he's just trying to openly mog Sang-woo, saying, I gotta beat him, I gotta drink more than him. Like, relax, brother, you're doing too much. And also him with Ji Su. I swear the only reason why he likes Ji Su is because of her looks. Because apparently the dude can't remember a single fucking thing about her. Ji Su opens up to Seung Li talking about her trauma and he's like, nah, you're good. Which reassures her at first, but then she gets completely pissed off when he can't remember shit, which is understandable on her part. And to this day, I have yet to hear him explicitly say sorry to her. Like, he just keeps saying the same shit, like, shit, I think I fucked up. My bad, I guess. Honestly, it was kind of funny how he was sweating mad bullets as he was getting interrogated by Ji Su. Anyway, Ji Su still gives him another chance. Low-key, working out paid off, because if he was some skinny-ass motherfucker, there's no shot he's getting another chance. Overall, I didn't really care too much for him, but some of the shit he did was kind of whack. So yeah, I don't know about all that. Alright, finally we have Sang-woo. He's a 27-year-old engineer researcher who's working at Hanwha, which is a Korean defense company. So yeah, he basically sold his soul to blow up a bunch of innocent Palestinian kids. Okay, stop, I'm playing. But anyways, this guy was probably the most unintentionally funny motherfucker to be in the show, and he low-key carried the show if I'm gonna be honest. So bro basically lost 20 kilograms, which is around 44 pounds, which is an insane lock-in. And then he was basically handed a piece of diamond on a silver platter the way Ji Su wanted him, and he proceeds to fumble by having some of the worst conversational skills I've ever witnessed. Maybe he just folds in front of baddies, which is understandable, but it was actually hilarious how the date went to complete shit, and during the post-game interview, he's like, yeah, I think I bagged her. Like, bro, I'm crying, dog. The interviewers were like, oh, why'd you pick the fruit drink? Did you know that it was gonna be a matching drink date? Oh, nah, I just picked that shit because I was thirsty. Oh my god, he's sitting right next to her. What a good move. Oh nah, I was just sitting there because it was hot, haha. I low-key felt bad for him when no one picked him for one of the dates, but it seemed like he was unbothered by it. He just makes ramen and calls it a day. His day with Miji too was underwhelming. It seemed like they were hitting it off because they're from the same province, but I think Sang-woo just stopped giving a fuck halfway throughout the show. No one comes to him for that one date night, so bro just orders the entire menu and eats it in the most scrumptious way possible and exits the stage with style. That shit was low-key hard, I can't even lie. And yeah, he just hella relaxed till the end, eating the nachos and popcorn while he's enjoying the movie. If you really think about it, he basically got a paid vacation to Jeju Island. Absolutely rizless man, but he's also the chillest motherfucker out of the bunch. I would definitely be friends with him and complain about my dating problems to him. He's the type of dude to suddenly have a wife and kids 3 to 5 years later, probably. Also, one of the panelists, Card the Garden, his reactions to Sang-woo's antics were fucking hilarious. Everyone in Korea wants them two to make a mukbang together, and I also am a member of society who would like to see that happen. Anyways, he's definitely hella chill, going into the chill tier. Alright, that's the end of the tier list. Now on to the quick review of the show. So overall, I did enjoy the show, even if it was some of the most cringe shit I've ever seen in my entire life. I think the early to middle episodes were definitely the most fun, and towards the end it got kinda boring once everyone got settled in. As for the participants, it was interesting, but also people who haven't dated at this stage in life, it's pretty obvious why, and you can basically categorize them into one of two. If you're a guy, chances are you just can't talk to women, and if you're a girl, you're either scared of the potential heartbreak that could come in a relationship, or you just don't give a fuck and you're content with chilling with the girls. Simple as that. Also, their motives for getting into a relationship is kinda cooked, like, oh, I'm getting older and I need to get married soon. In my opinion, that's a terrible mentality. Anyways, back to the show. So I was very skeptical at first, because how do we really know that these guys are eternally single? Like, what if it's all just scripted shit? But after watching the show, yeah, I'll just believe the producers. If these guys are actually acting, then they absolutely gap actors like Lee Byung-hun and Lee Jung-jae. Also, one of the things that I didn't like about the show is how they edited out so much shit. Like, all they talk about on dates are like, oh, what's your ideal type? Oh, who do you think picked you and shit? Which is some of the most boring conversation topics ever. Like, talk about favorite foods or movies or shows or memes. Anything, damn. Besides that though, fun concept of a show, but I don't know if I'm gonna watch something similar in the future. And I definitely won't watch Singles Inferno, cause fuck that. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. I truly wish the best for all these participants that were in the show. Also, I'm close to 2,000 subscribers, so please subscribe, thank you. Might do a Q&A in the YouTube community post, so look out for that. Also, still working on a Weak Hero, so thanks for waiting for that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.